Good evening, friends. I want to talk to you today about value, your value. Sometimes in life you will encounter people who fail to see it, who treat you as if you're just an option instead of a priority. They take your kindness for granted, your time is disposable, and your love is ordinary. But let me remind you today, you are not ordinary, you are extraordinary. You were created with purpose, with unique gifts, with a light that nobody else can replicate. You're a treasure, not a convenience. And when someone fails to see that when they walk away, when they betray you, when they choose someone or something else over you, it's not your loss. It's theirs. The temptation when someone who undervalued you realizes their mistake and comes crawling back is to take them back. You think, well, maybe this time they'll treat me right. Maybe this time they'll appreciate me. But let me ask you something. Would you return to a store that sold you broken promises? Would you trust a hand that let you fall when you needed it most? When they let you go, when they misused your trust, they made a choice. And their regret is not your responsibility. Don't lower your standards for the sake of their convenience. You've grown in their absence. You've learned how to stand taller, dream bigger, and love yourself deeper. Don't confuse loneliness with weakness. Just because you've spent time alone doesn't mean you're meant to go backward. That loneliness was your refining season. It was in that quiet place that you discovered your worth, that you realized you don't need external validation to know you're valuable. The truth is, they'll regret losing you, not because of guilt, but because of realization. When they see the strength you found without them, when they witness the joy you've cultivated and the success you've achieved, they'll know what they gave up. But here's what I want you to hold on to. Don't take them back. Don't let their regret rewrite the narrative. You're not someone's second chance at the same mistake. You're a gift, and you deserve someone who sees that from day one. Scripture reminds us in Psalm 139 that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. That means you were made with intention, with care, with greatness in mind. If someone can't see that, don't shrink yourself to fit their limited vision. Step into the fullness of who you are. This is your season to thrive, to shine, to become all that God has called you to be. Let their regret fuel your determination, not out of spite, but out of purpose. You're going higher, reaching farther, becoming stronger. So let them regret it. Let them watch as you soar, as you walk into a future that was never meant to include their betrayal. And when they knock on your door, don't open it. Keep moving forward, because the best is yet to come. You are unique, extraordinary, and irreplaceable. Sometimes in life, we encounter situations that make us doubt that truth. People treat us as if we're just another face in the crowd, another voice in the noise. They fail to see the beauty, the light, and the purpose that God placed inside of us. But let me remind you today, their failure to recognize your worth does not diminish your value. Who you are is not determined by someone else's opinion, their acceptance, or their acknowledgement. Your value comes from your Creator, and He doesn't make mistakes. God made you with intention, with precision, and with a purpose that only you can fulfill. You weren't an afterthought or a backup plan. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, He knew you. He set you apart. He said, this one is special. This one will bring something to the world that no one else can. You are one of a kind, and the world needs what you carry. Don't let anyone, no matter who they are, convince you otherwise. Too often we place our self-worth in the hands of others. We think, if they approve of me, then I must be good enough. Or if they choose me, then I must have value. But people are imperfect. They're dealing with their own insecurities, their own limited vision. They can't always see the greatness in front of them. Don't let someone's inability to see your value make you question your place in this world. It's not their job to define you. That role belongs to God, and He has already declared you are fearfully and wonderfully made. When someone walks away from you, mistreats you, or takes you for granted, it's easy to internalize that pain. You start to wonder, was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? But can I tell you something? Their actions are a reflection of them, not you. Their inability to see your worth doesn't mean you're not worthy. It means they weren't capable of appreciating what they had. That's not your loss, it's theirs. I think about diamonds for a moment. A diamond doesn't lose its value just because someone doesn't understand its worth. It doesn't stop being precious because someone walks past it without noticing. Its value is intrinsic. It's built into what it is. You're the same way. Your value is built into who you are. Whether someone recognizes it or not, you're still priceless. But here's the key: you have to recognize it for yourself. Because when you know your worth, you won't settle for less. You won't chase after people who walked away trying to prove your value to them. You won't shrink yourself to fit into spaces that can't hold the fullness of who you are. Instead, you'll stand tall, confident in the knowledge that you are enough just as you are. I know it's not always easy. Rejection can sting. Being overlooked can hurt. But sometimes those moments are God's way of protecting you. Sometimes He allows people to leave your life because He knows they can't handle where He's taking you. He knows their presence would hold you back, limit your growth, or distract you from your purpose. What feels like a loss in the moment is often a setup for something greater. Don't waste your energy trying to convince someone of your worth. The right people will see it. The right people will value you, celebrate you, and honor the gift that you are. But more importantly, you have to see it in yourself first. Because when you know who you are, when you walk in the confidence of your God-given identity, you attract the right people, opportunities, and blessings into your life. So let today be the day you stop looking for validation in all the wrong places. Let today be the day you say, I am enough, I am loved, I am valuable, not because someone else said it, but because God already declared it. And when He speaks, His word doesn't return void. What He says about you is final. You are extraordinary. You are irreplaceable. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Keep your head held high. Walk with purpose. Trust that the people who are meant to be in your life will recognize your value without you having to prove it. And when others fail to see it, let it go. It's not your job to make them understand. It's your job to keep being the incredible person God created you to be. Your value isn't up for debate, it's a fact. So step into it, live it, and never settle for anything less than the best that God has for you. There are seasons in life when it feels like you're all alone, like the people you counted on have walked away, and the ones you thought would always be there are nowhere to be found. It's easy to feel abandoned, overlooked, and forgotten. But let me encourage you today, loneliness isn't a punishment, it's often a preparation. God doesn't waste a single moment in your life. Even in those quiet, solitary times, He is at work, shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for something greater. You see, it's in the stillness that we truly discover who we are. When the noise fades, when the crowd disperses, when the distractions are stripped away, that's when we can hear the whisper of God speaking to our hearts. It's in those moments of quiet that He reminds us of our worth, our purpose, and His plans for us. The world might make you think that being alone is a bad thing, but the truth is some of the greatest growth happens in solitude. Think about an eagle. Before it can soar high above the clouds, it has to spend time in the nest. It learns to stretch its wings, to build strength, to prepare for the flight ahead. That time in the nest isn't wasted, it's necessary. In the same way, those seasons of loneliness in your life are not wasted. They are a time of preparation, a time for God to strengthen you, to teach you, to help you grow into the person you're meant to be. Sometimes God has to remove certain people from our lives to protect us. It may feel like rejection, but it's actually His redirection. He knows what's ahead and He sees what we can't see. If someone left your life, if you feel like you've been overlooked or abandoned, don't take it as a sign that you're not good enough. Take it as a sign that God is doing something behind the scenes. He's making room for new relationships, new opportunities, and new blessings. But here's the key: you have to trust the process. It's easy to get discouraged in those quiet seasons. It's tempting to question why things happened the way they did or why certain people left. But instead of focusing on the why, focus on the who God is and who He's called you to be. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. He's not done with your story. In fact, the quiet moments are often where the most significant breakthroughs are birthed. When David was anointed to be king, he didn't step into the palace right away. Instead, he went back to the fields to tend the sheep. It must have felt lonely out there, watching over the flock while everyone else seemed to be living their lives. But it was in those fields that David developed his skills, his character, and his relationship with God. What looked like a lonely season was actually a preparation season. And when the time came, David was ready to step into his destiny. In your own life, don't despise the times when it feels like you're in the field, away from the spotlight, and all alone. Those are the moments when God is working the most. He's strengthening your faith, building your endurance, and equipping you for what's ahead. You may not see it now, but every tear, every prayer, and every step of faith is preparing you for the next chapter. And let me tell you, when God moves you into that next chapter, it's going to be worth the wait. You'll look back on this season and realize that it wasn't loneliness, it was growth. It wasn't abandonment, it was alignment. God was aligning you with His purpose, His timing, and His plans. So don't rush the process. Don't try to fill the silence with noise or the void with just anyone or anything. Use this time to draw closer to God, to rediscover your passions, to build your strength. Trust that He is working all things together for your good. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right blessings are already on their way. In the meantime, know that you are never truly alone. God is with you, guiding you, loving you, and cheering you on every step of the way. And when the season changes, when the doors open, and when the blessings come, you'll be ready not just to step into your destiny, but to soar higher than you ever thought possible. What felt like loneliness was actually preparation for your greatest victory yet. There are times in life when people will walk away from you, betray you, or let you down. Maybe they didn't appreciate your kindness. Maybe they took advantage of your loyalty or didn't value the love and support you gave. And now, as time has passed, they're starting to realize what they lost. They're feeling the weight of their decisions, the regret of letting someone as remarkable as you slip through their fingers. But here's the truth, their regret is not your responsibility. It's not your job to carry the burden of their mistakes or to fix what they chose to break. Too often, when someone who hurt us comes back seeking another chance, we feel a pull to take them back, to give them what they didn't value the first time around. We think maybe this time it will be different. Maybe this time they'll appreciate me. But let me tell you something, you are not a second chance. You are not someone's backup plan or safety net. If they couldn't see your worth the first time, that's their loss, not your obligation. God didn't create you to be someone's afterthought. He didn't pour gifts, talents, and love into you just for someone to mishandle it. You are precious in His sight, and your value doesn't change based on someone else's inability to recognize it. Don't let their regret manipulate you into settling for less than you deserve. Don't let their sudden change of heart pull you back into a place you've outgrown. When someone regrets losing you, it's because they finally see the treasure you are. But the truth is, if they couldn't see it before, they may not truly value it now. Regret often comes from a place of loss, not a place of change. They miss what they had, but that doesn't mean they've learned to treat it right. And you don't need to waste your energy trying to make someone see your worth when it wasn't enough to keep them the first time. I think about the prodigal son in the Bible. He left his father's house, squandered his blessings, and only came back when he hit rock bottom. The father welcomed him back, but here's the difference, the father had never mistreated his son. He had always been loving, kind, and generous. The son's regret wasn't about how he was treated, it was about realizing the goodness he had left behind. Now, in your life, you may face situations where someone regrets losing you, not because they've changed, but because they've hit their own rock bottom. They're missing the love, support, and care you provided. But just because they regret losing you doesn't mean they're ready to honor you. Regret is not the same as transformation. You have to be discerning. Don't let someone's remorse pull you back into a cycle of hurt. Don't lower your standards or compromise your peace just to make someone else feel better about their mistakes. God has called you to higher places, and sometimes that means leaving people behind. It's not easy, but it's necessary. You see, when God removes someone from your life, it's for a reason. He sees what you can't see. He knows their heart, their intentions, and their capacity to truly value you. If they left, if they betrayed you, if they didn't appreciate you, trust that God allowed it for your good. He's not trying to punish you, He's protecting you. He's clearing the way for the right people to come into your life, people who will see your worth, celebrate your presence, and treat you with the love and respect you deserve. It's not your job to go back and fix what someone else broke. Your job is to keep moving forward, to trust God's plan, and to stay true to the value He's placed in you. The enemy would love for you to get stuck in a cycle of trying to prove your worth to people who can't see it. But God is saying, you don't need to prove anything. I've already declared you valuable. I've already set you apart. Keep your eyes on me, and I'll take you places you've never dreamed of. So when someone regrets losing you, let it be just that their regret. You don't have to hold on to their guilt, their remorse, or their pain. Release it. Pray for them, wish them well, but don't go back to what God has delivered you from. There's something better ahead. Trust that God's plans for you are good, and that He has people in your future who will cherish you the way you deserve. Remember, your worth isn't defined by someone else's ability to see it. It's defined by the one who created you. He says, you're priceless, loved, and chosen. Walk in that truth, and don't let anyone's regret pull you back from the incredible future God has in store for you. In life, we set the tone for how others treat us. When you know your worth, when you recognize that you are a child of the Most High God, you won't settle for anything less than His best. But too often we lower our standards, we compromise, we make excuses for people who aren't treating us right. We say, well, they didn't mean it, or maybe next time they'll change. But let me tell you something, you don't have to keep giving someone chance after chance when they've shown you who they are. You deserve to be treated with respect, love, and honor. God created you with purpose, with value, and with dignity. You are royalty not because of anything you've done, but because of who He is. You've been chosen, set apart, and called to walk in victory. That means you don't have to put up with relationships that bring you down, that make you feel small, or that cause you to question your worth. You don't have to stay in situations where you're not valued or appreciated. Sometimes we accept less than we deserve because we're afraid of being alone. We think, if I let this person go, will I find someone better? If I say no to this opportunity, will another one come along? But fear is not from God. He didn't give you a spirit of fear. He gave you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. When you're afraid to let go of something or someone that isn't right for you, it's because you're trusting in your own understanding instead of trusting in God's plan. God sees the big picture. He knows what's ahead, and He knows what's best for you. When you settle for less, you're blocking the greater blessings He has in store. It's like settling for a tiny puddle when God wants to give you an ocean. Don't let fear keep you stuck in a place that was never meant to be your final destination. When you set high standards, when you refuse to settle, you're not being difficult or unreasonable. You're honoring yourself and the God who created you. You're saying, I know who I am, and I'm not going to compromise on what I deserve. And let me tell you, when you walk in that confidence, the right people will show up in your life. The right opportunities will find you. You don't have to chase after anyone or anything. What God has for you will come to you when you're ready. I think about Ruth in the Bible. She didn't settle for just any man after her husband died. She could have rushed into a relationship out of fear or desperation, but she trusted God's timing. She remained faithful. She stayed true to her values, and at the right time, Boaz came into her life, a man who honored her, valued her, and treated her like the treasure she was. Ruth's story is a reminder that when you hold out for God's best, He will exceed your expectations. But here's the key. You have to be willing to let go of the things and people that aren't serving you. You can't hold on to the old and expect God to bring in the new. It's like trying to carry a heavy bag in each hand. You can't pick up something new until you put something down. If someone isn't meeting your standards, if they're not treating you with respect, let them go. Trust that God has something better. Don't let your desire for companionship make you compromise on your values. Don't let someone's potential blind you to their reality. You can't build a healthy relationship on potential alone. Look at how someone treats you right now, not who they might become someday. If they can't meet your standards today, they're not the one God has for you. And let me say this, setting high standards doesn't mean you're perfect or that you're looking for someone who is. It means you know your worth and you're not willing to accept behavior that diminishes it. It means you're willing to wait for someone who will celebrate you, support you, and walk alongside you as you fulfill God's purpose for your life. So don't lower your standards to keep someone in your life. Don't make excuses for behavior that doesn't honor you. Instead, stand firm in your worth. Trust that God has someone or something better for you. And when you do, you'll find that the things you let go of were only making room for the blessings that were on their way. You deserve God's best. Don't settle for anything less. Walk in confidence, knowing that your value isn't determined by someone else's opinion or actions. It's determined by the one who created you. And He says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Trust Him, and He'll take you places you never dreamed possible. In life, it's easy to get stuck looking back, dwelling on what didn't work out, who hurt you, or the opportunities that slipped through your fingers. But let me remind you today, God never intended for your past to define your future. What's behind you is behind you for a reason. There are better days ahead, new doors to walk through, and greater blessings in store. You can't move forward if you're constantly looking in the rearview mirror. Too often, we waste our energy trying to figure out why something happened or why someone treated us a certain way. We replay conversations, analyze situations, and wish we could go back and change the outcome. But dwelling on the past doesn't change anything. It only keeps you stuck. It's like trying to run a race while carrying a heavy backpack. You're weighed down, distracted, and unable to move freely. The key to living a fulfilled life is learning to let go of what you can't change and focusing on what's ahead. The Apostle Paul said it best, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Notice, he didn't say he casually moved on. He said he strained toward what was ahead. Why? Because it takes effort to let go of the past. It takes determination to stop replaying the hurt, to stop looking back at the closed doors, and to press forward into the future God has for you. You have to make a decision. I'm not going to let my past hold me hostage. I'm not going to let what someone said or did keep me from the amazing future God has in store. That's not always easy. It takes faith and it takes courage. But when you focus on what's ahead, you position yourself for growth, healing, and new opportunities. Think about Joseph in the Bible. His brothers betrayed him, sold him into slavery, and left him for dead. He spent years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. It would have been easy for him to stay bitter, to dwell on the unfairness of it all. But Joseph didn't waste his energy looking back. He trusted that God was still in control, even in the midst of his trials. And because he kept his focus forward, God elevated him to a position of power where he was able to save not only his family, but an entire nation. The same is true for you. What feels like a setback is often a setup for something greater. But you can't see what's ahead if you're too busy looking back. When you keep replaying the past, you're giving it power over your present. You're allowing it to dictate your decisions, your attitude, and your outlook. But when you let it go and fix your eyes on the future, you'll find new strength, new opportunities, and new blessings waiting for you. God is a God of restoration. He knows how to take what the enemy meant for harm and turn it into something good. But you have to do your part. You have to release the hurt, the disappointment, and the regret. You have to stop looking at what you lost and start thanking God for what's coming. When you shift your focus from what you've been through to what God has in store, it changes everything. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't stand there staring at the dirt, wondering why the last harvest didn't work out. He doesn't focus on the seeds that didn't grow last season. Instead, he plants new seeds, waters them, and trusts that this time will be different. That's the mindset we need to have. What's done is done. It's time to plant new seeds, to dream new dreams, and to believe that the best is yet to come. God's word says He will do a new thing in your life. But here's the catch: you have to let go of the old to make room for the new. You can't hold on to bitterness and expect joy to fill your heart. You can't cling to regret and expect to walk in peace. You have to release the past so you can embrace the future. Let today be the day you make a decision. I'm not going to let what happened yesterday steal my joy today. I'm not going to let who hurt me keep me from loving and trusting again. I'm moving forward, trusting that God has something better for me. When you keep your focus forward, you'll find that the future is brighter than you ever imagined. The closed doors, the disappointments, the setbacks, they were all part of God's plan to prepare you for something greater. Trust Him, move forward, and watch as He leads you into the fullness of His promises. The best is yet to come. There's something powerful about knowing who you are and whose you are. When you understand that you are a child of the Most High God, it changes the way you see yourself, the way you carry yourself, and the way you allow others to treat you. You're not here by accident. You're not a mistake, and you're not ordinary. You were created on purpose, for a purpose, and with a purpose. The Creator of the universe breathed life into you, put His Spirit in you, and declared you valuable, worthy, and chosen. But here's the thing, not everyone will see your worth. Not everyone will appreciate your kindness, your loyalty, or the unique gifts God has placed in you. And that's okay. You don't need everyone's approval to fulfill your destiny. You don't need to convince people of your value. You just need to know it for yourself. When you know who you are in Christ, you won't waste your time chasing after people who don't see your worth or trying to prove yourself to those who don't appreciate you. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from others, thinking, if they accept me, if they like me, then I'll feel good about myself. But true confidence doesn't come from people, it comes from knowing who you are in God. When you base your worth on someone else's opinion, you're giving them power over your life. You're letting their approval or lack of it determine your joy, your peace, and your self-esteem. But God didn't create you to live like that. He created you to walk in freedom, to know your worth, and to stand tall in the knowledge that you are loved and cherished by Him. I think about David in the Bible. When the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel, David wasn't even invited to the lineup. His own father didn't see his potential, didn't think he was king material. But God did. While others overlooked David, God saw his heart. He saw the shepherd boy who would one day become a mighty king. David didn't need his family's approval to step into his destiny because he knew his worth came from God, not from people. The same is true for you. You may feel overlooked, underestimated, or undervalued, but don't let that shake your confidence. Don't let someone's inability to see your worth cause you to doubt your value. God has already approved you. He's already called you, chosen you, and equipped you for the plans He has for your life. People's opinions don't determine your destiny, God's plans do. Now, that doesn't mean you won't face rejection or setbacks along the way. There will be times when people walk away, when opportunities don't work out, or when you feel like you're not enough. But those moments don't define you. They're just part of the journey. Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's often a redirection to something better. God uses every closed door and every setback to lead you closer to His purpose for your life. You see, when you know your worth, you don't settle. You don't compromise your values, your standards, or your dreams just to fit in or make someone else happy. You don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Instead, you stand firm in the knowledge of who you are and what you deserve. You say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am a masterpiece created by God for a good work. I am worthy of love, respect, and kindness, and I won't settle for anything less. And when you carry yourself with that kind of confidence, the right people will be drawn to you. The people who are meant to be in your life, the ones who will love you, support you, and celebrate you, will recognize your worth and treat you accordingly. You don't have to chase after them or try to convince them. What's meant for you will find you when you're walking in your God-given identity. But here's the key: you have to believe it for yourself. You have to see yourself the way God sees you, as valuable, capable, and deeply loved. It doesn't matter what your past looks like, what mistakes you've made, or what others have said about you. None of that changes God's opinion of you. He still calls you His child, His masterpiece, His beloved. So hold your head high. Walk with confidence, knowing that your worth isn't up for debate. It's already been settled by the one who created you. You don't need everyone to see it or agree with it. All you need is to believe it and live it. When you do, you'll attract the right people, walk through the right doors, and step into the amazing future God has prepared for you. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are enough just as you are.